We're live, pal. Welcome, everybody, to another Tuesday night in the WWE universe where we're a week away from Roadblock. So we're going to hit this go home show for NXT set to begin in just a minute or two. So we're excited to see everything that's coming tonight. Welcome to Mark by Wrestling. If this is your first time here, being a Mark just means you believe, and believing makes wrestling better. So we're really here to sit back, enjoy a great night tonight, and see what NXT has in store just a week before they hit up Madison Square Garden. So here come the constellations, and let's kick this thing off. Then, now, forever together. Dossie Chatham, what's up, my friend? You looking forward to NXT? I know that I am. You know, I got to say, right before the show starts, they're really gearing up to make next week pretty wild. What's up, Justin? You live. We're getting started. We're getting a recap of last Tuesday. Stephanie Vicker, the Hardys in the house. Yep, just everybody in the house. They were in the Return of the Hardys, which was just wild. Like, those guys are playing with house money at this point. They are just listening to the pop they get versus everybody else, and they don't have to wrestle like TLC type guys anymore, and the crowd's just gonna love them forever. So I hope they're basking in that every chance they get. So yeah, man, we're gearing up. Next week is Roadblock, so we got to see what we've got going on. Our card tonight, North American title is on the line. Tony D'Angelo is taking on Shawn Spears. Also, a late addition to the card, we're getting Jordan Grace versus Cora Jade tonight. They were beefing online earlier today. I just happened to catch that right as I went on. And then we also get Chelsea Green and Agent P, Piper Niven, in the house tonight, taking on Sol Ruca and Zaria, not to mention Kaladi Jordan versus Jada Parker, and a whole lot more. So I think it's going to be a good – and we haven't even gotten to Ricky Saints here, formerly known as Ricky Starks, and, had a great showing last week, his sort of debut in the ring for NXT. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. All right. And, of course, we're building up to Julia versus Stephanie Vicker as well in Madison Square Garden next week. So Raw in Madison Square Garden, NXT and the theater at MSG. It's not, the prime MSG location, but, that doesn't matter. Hey, Sophie, you might or might not show up on Friday. Okay, well, I hope we see you on Friday. The chat is never the same without you, Sophie. So, but thanks for hopping in to say hello as it is. So, all right, we're here in NXT. Crowd is alive. And we'll see what we've got tonight. I'm going to take these off because they're not doing me any favors. Are we back in the PC tonight? Are we okay? All right. Shawn Spears family in the house. Izzy Dame, and still learning some names with NXT. I don't know his whole group. But then Tony's family here as well. Got Stacks. And anyway, it's going to be some warfare here for the North American title. The Hardys are here again. The Hardys are back, and they're just walking right through the NXT parking lot like Razor Ramon under the ladder. They are not afraid. Okay, the United States champion, the women's United States champion, is in the house, and we are opening up NXT with the tag team match. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven versus Sol Ruca and Zaria. I'm really excited for this tag match. Chelsea Green is one of my favorite acts right now. She is just hitting on all cylinders. And then you've got Piper Niven, who is really eating up her Secret Service-y kind of role. And then she's working the American flag into that it's too long to be called a tutu. I just call it a skirt, I guess. I don't know. I don't know enough about fashion. I should really be asking my daughter Rosemary about that right now, but she's working on homework like a responsible student. And then Sol Ruca and Zaria, they've got a real I don't know if I'd say Daniel Bryan and Kane, but a real, just a real quirky cohesion to themselves, where you would think this isn't going to work, and yet they find a way to work together, and I enjoy that a lot. So, absolutely, in for a good night tonight. Here we go. Wow, that's quite a Hulk like. Okay, I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen Zaria's Tron before, if we can still call it that. It's very video game like, very like cutscene kind of Hulk smash going on. I appreciate that. So, but yeah. So, all right. Well, we're starting off strong with this tag match. Who do y'all have in our opening match? Um, Sol Ruca and Zaria, or Chelsea Green and Piper Niven? I'm honestly still pondering it over. It is NXT, but at the same time, Chelsea's a champion, and she's got Piper with her. I'm leaning Sol Ruca and Zaria though. They seem to just be kind of getting their chemistry together. I think they could do it. All right, Justin going for Sol. All right, Justin, you and me, dude. Absolutely, I agree. All right, all right, all right. Here we go. Chelsea's already running her mouth here at the beginning of the match. And slap, just smack Sol Ruca in the mouth. Not quite Travis Scott levels, but uh, who can be. Okay. Sol's going to business already with an X Factor facebuster. All right, Chelsea tags out to Piper. How's everybody feeling tonight? How's your week going so far? Is everyone still in that sort of John Cena hangover from the weekend? Or how's everybody doing with the events, the consequences, the shockwaves, the aftershocks of Elimination Chamber this week? Oh boy, Piper just patting Zarya on the head. Zarya goozle breaks it off. Look out. Oh, goes for the lift, but can't quite get Piper up there. And they're just throwing hands, but keep blocking a double headbutt. They kept blocking each other's shots. I'll tell you what, they're both Piper and Zarya definitely respecting each other, making them both look pretty tough. But Zarya stands up. Oh, here's the shot. We got Zarya menacing behind Piper. Clothesline. Down she goes. Sol springboarding in, but eats canvas as Piper gets out of the way. So far this is a pretty balanced tag match in the first minute or two here. And then we've got a split screen here, and Fraxium appears to be at a press conference right now. I'm not sure why they just showed that right now, because we didn't even get any audio from it. But that seemed intentional. Oh, did they confirm this? Javon Evans and Ethan Page are going to be in a street fight at Roadblock next week. Add another banger to the match, going to the card. Excuse me. Once again, that's Ethan Page and Javon Evans in a street fight at Roadblock next week. So you add that to Moose and Obafemi, to Julia and Stephanie, to the Hardys and Fraxium. Man, we're gonna be in for quite a night. And in New York, man. All right. Pin broken up. Chelsea interferes. But she's been dumped to the outside by Zarya. Zarya is dragged out of the ring by Chelsea as well. So we're down to Sol and Piper here in the ring. Dossie with the chat here. Thank you, Jossie. You were right about the women's championship match being the night after Chamber, meaning Io could become champion. Dude, wow. Sorry. Senton off the apron takes out both Zaria and Sol Ruca by Piper Niven. Looking like a cannonball there. I'll get right back to this in a second, Dossie. as we're going to commercial. So we're in a picture-in-picture right now, but I'm going to check out a couple of chats here. Lucky guess by me, but also I was so happy to see Io win last night, and that's nothing against Rhea Ripley, but it's just a demonstration, right, of how good women's wrestling is in WWE right now. That you've already got Bianca waiting in the wings, having won an Elimination Chamber. You've got Rhea, who is Rhea Ripley. Like she's a monster. She's well protected. She's a top talent in the women's division. And now you're further validating Io Sky, who's one of the best in-ring performers for the women in WWE, as it is anyway. And so getting her the title cleanly. She didn't cheat or anything. Rhea just got distracted by Bianca. So seeing all that take place, we might end up with a triple threat at Mania. I'd be fine with that. It might just be Io and Bianca, or Io could drop the title back to Rhea before Mania. I don't know. But if they do something involving all three of those women, like, I'm not going to say I don't care who wins, but either way, I think it's going to be all out. They're going to be so good. So I'm excited about that. Justin with the chat, do you think we see R-Truth on Friday Night SmackDown? I don't know. I feel like now that we've crossed that threshold and we have heel Cena, he's got to have an interaction with R-Truth at some point. And my heart is not ready for that. I don't know. Reminds me of Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. One of the protectors of the Grail said, "My soul is prepared. How's yours?" My soul is not prepared for that. I think it's going to be heartbreaking. If Cena's really trying to heel out, he might throw hands on Truth. Like, I don't want to see any of that happen. It'll make for great television. I'm just saying, I'll be so sad if that happens, because I just love Truth's like sincerity. Even like on X and stuff like that, he's commenting back to like Brandy Rhodes, like, hold on, let's not jump to conclusions, and still fighting for Cena's integrity when it's so obviously not. So yeah, man, he's already playing heartbroken out here on social media. R-Truth is. So it could be as soon as Friday night we see some of that play out. But yeah, I think it would be a misstep to completely ignore R-Truth's idol worship of John Cena on screen during this heel run, and not have that as an opportunity to further cement Cena as a heel and give Truth something to do other than be funny backstage, which he's very good at, and I like that. But it's a real opportunity there to do something. So we'll see what comes of it all, for sure. So anyway, if I'm being weird with the banners and stuff, this is all very new for me. Trying things out as we go along, as we're back from the commercial break, picture in picture here, and the tag match continues. So I tell you, I never would have pictured Sol Ruca and Zaria as a viable tag team together. They're not. They're still. I wouldn't say they're in can they coexist mode, but they're not really performing like an official tag team just yet. I've said this more than once, but there's usually three things that I look for in a legit tag team. One is an actual tag team name. Two is matching gear, or matching theme gear at least. And three is tandem offense. And Sol reaches out for a hot tag, but Chelsea pulls her off the apron. Oh, and Sol eats an avalanche. Old school King Kong Bundy stuff from Chelsea Green. Not from Chelsea Green. Sorry, from Piper Niven. Chelsea was on screen by the time I was saying that. But to be fair, Chelsea and Piper have been a team longer than Sol and Zaria, so they're in control of this match. And honestly, I like that old school logic that, the team that has more chemistry and history together tends to, take over for longer. But Sol successfully makes the tag. Zaria is now in the ring. Clearing house, German suplex onto Chelsea Green. Clotheslines Piper to the mat. Zaria is cleaning house. Another German to Chelsea. She's saying 9 at this point. Oh, she's trying to German suplex Piper. Didn't quite get there. Oh, and a spear down to Piper. And another spear down to Chelsea. Spears for everybody. Two and a whoa. Chelsea, was gifted with long legs, and she made use of them to reach the rope from she wasn't. I mean, she was close to the side of the ring anyways, but rope break there for the pin. It seems like yeah, the referee is not necessarily oh man. Tandem offense by Chelsea and Piper. To Chelsea held. Oh, Chelsea's busted open. Chelsea's got a busted nose. I didn't even see what happened there. She's going for the unprettier on Zaria. She's got her up in the electric chair, and she's tagging. Sol Ruca, stop it. No way. What's happening? Sol's on the top. Oh, it's like a doomsday device with a moonsault instead of a clothesline. Oh, she gets out of the way. Piper splashes her partner. Piper came in with the splash and missed and hit Chelsea. And here comes, Zaria's got her up in the fireman's carry. What are we going to get? Oh, wow. Oh, Zaria F5 Piper right on to Chelsea. And Sol Ruca with the soul snatcher to Chelsea. This could be it. We got a winner. Sol Ruca and Zaria introducing some tandem offense here with this moonsault device. If you call hopefully they'll get a better name than what I can come up with. I don't work for them. I'm not a part of creative, but some great tandem offense, solid tag match. And man, Chelsea, I feel so bad. I'm trying to figure out where she got busted open at. I think Zaria must have caught her because it seemed to be right before Chelsea had her in this holding her as in a code breaker position. J.R. Dugan, welcome to the chat, my friend. First match down. The night is still young. And Chelsea had Zaria in this holding her in a code breaker position, and then Piper came across and dropped an elbow across her back. They're showing a recap of what was online earlier today, building up to the Jordan Grace and Cora Jade match tonight. So basically Cora just coming in and interrupting, and then drama ensues from there. But basically Cora is going for the Knockouts title over on TNA, if you're not watching TNA, and is already saying, I'm going to be a better champion than you ever were. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. An NXT superstar holding that title is going to make it more important than it has ever been. Especially when that person is me. Cora, listen to me. The day you win that title is the day that I retire. Okay, well, you might as well start paying. Okay, I can see where this is going. You know what? I'm not mad about it. Okay. Ava. Okay. All right, here comes Miss Parker. Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan tonight. Jada saying, get out of my face. All right, welcome. Justin with another question. How did you feel about the CM Punk promo? Loved it. I think it was the best promo he's given since he's come back this time. That was pipe bomb era CM Punk right there. Maybe it's just the presence of The Rock that really brings it out of him. I don't know. Or Cena, one or the other. But he gave a great promo. He got all riled up from that. And then out comes Seth Rollins, and then he has somewhere to direct all of his hatred. So I liked it. I thought it was great. What did you guys think about Punk's promo on Monday, last night even? Sorry. But yeah, I thought it was great. By the way, everybody, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. We are on the pathway to building up to super chatting and all those wonderful things, getting memberships, super chats, all that kind of stuff started. We still have some milestones to cross before we get there. I'm working on my watch hours, but before you know it, we might actually be there, guys. So be on the lookout for updates on that. But in the meantime, if you want to support the channel, just look right there on the screen, and I've got some ways to support the channel. And appreciate all the love and support. And I honestly just love having this place to hang out weekly to watch good wrestling and chat it up with each other, man. Dude, growing up back in the day when it was just me and my brother and the trampoline outside having title matches, there just weren't a whole lot of kids to talk to at school, about wrestling the way we love it now. And there are a few casual people here and there sometimes who dug it, but not so much. Not on a wide scale. Nothing like what we have here. So I'm very grateful for the space that we have here. Also with A&B Combos and with Just Alex, for all those channels to have spaces to watch wrestling together and hang out. So it's a great place to be. JR said, I love that side of Punk. Yes. Yeah, man. I mean, like, that's Punk in his bag right there, and I'm not criticizing who he was before, but like, I was curious when I started seeing his interviews after he came back at Survivor Series last year, because he seemed so much at peace, right? Like leaving AEW and the headaches that he had there, whether he was involved in those headaches being created or not, that's not what I'm going to get into. But he seemed to be very much at peace with things. And I think that chip on his shoulder is what made his performances really special, and he found that place last night. And I think Punk is at his performative best when he feels like he has something to prove, and I'm sorry, there's an AEW commercial on right now during this broadcast, which I find very interesting, and I accidentally hit rewind on my live TV. So they're either advertising Dynamite or Revolution, but I find that amusing. Oh, Cope and Mox. Check your local listings for AEW Dynamite. That wasn't coincidental, by the way. Dynamite advertising now. Dynamite is being outperformed by the show we're watching right now, and the ratings is now advertising on that show. Wrestling. What are you going to do? Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Punk has definitely got this edge to him now. So yeah. Justin, are you going to watch WWE Evolve? So I don't know, man. That's a lot of wrestling to watch in a week. And what do you guys think? Do you think we should? I mean, I haven't even looked to see what time it comes on. I'm assuming, I know it's on Wednesdays. Is it on at the same time as Dynamite? Because that will Wednesdays are a little bit of a tricky day for me, because some of you who know me well know that I'm a pastor during the week and on the weekends. So Wednesday night is a church night for me, but I don't know. I don't know what time it comes on. So maybe it might be doable, or even like an after review or something. I don't know. I got to be honest though. I'm not entirely sold on investing in WWE at that level. I love NXT. But Evolve, I feel like I might start dipping in and out on that. If it turns out that it becomes a really good thing, I might have to catch it later. But I don't know about doing it live. So, Raw recap available now, new every Tuesday after Raw. Oh boy, man, why does WWE need to have their own podcast? Come on, we're doing a great job. The internet wrestling community. Trick Williams has a beef here. Uriah Connors and Cale Dixon. Man, Trick is not having it right now. What do y'all think about Trick having I wouldn't say he's heelish, but he's definitely temperamental. Interesting. All right. Well, here comes Kalani Jordan making her entrance to take on Jada Parker tonight. J.R. Dugan, the chat, what do you think about Io winning the belt? And do you think it would be a smart idea for Rhea to be added for a triple threat? Also, Bianca looked kind of heelish last night. I think they played that sort of breakdown to perfection last night. I love Io winning the belt. I'm glad that they spent week after week. Thank you for the question, by the way, Jr. That they spent week after week with Io aiming to make it to WrestleMania, and Rhea, cost Io her shot at being in the Elimination Chamber. And then she gets that title match as a result, pulls it out, and Io doesn't cheat for that. Nothing heelish there. But Bianca, yeah, there's still questions about Bianca because we know that Jade had it out for returning Jade Cargill had it out for Naomi. And Bianca seems to be playing it though as if she's an innocent bystander in all this. Yet when Rhea lost last night, there was a bit of a smirk on Bianca's face. And I was a little put off last night because it seemed as though it seemed like Bianca had earned a disqualification for Rhea when they were having their shoving match, and I just wish that the referee had made a point to say we're not going to have a disqualification. Like something that small would have been helpful, but alas, that's where we are. So anyway, I loved Io winning it. I would be all for a triple threat because it gives all three of them something to do in the match, and gives all three of them something to do at WrestleMania, and those three could tear the house down. Absolutely crazy chemistry. And there is a part of me that kind of wishes I could see Bianca and Rhea one-on-one at WrestleMania. But as for Io being the third person in there, you couldn't go wrong with adding a third person there. So, and that way too, regardless of who would win that triple threat match, somebody will get protected in that. So it's fine with me. I'm along for the ride for that one for sure. Meanwhile, Kalani in control here against Miss Parker. Very unorthodox gear for Jada Parker. It's like a little Zack Ryder-ish, but not really. It's like if Zack Ryder's gear and Rhea Ripley's gear had a baby. And then great outside moonsault to the outside by Kalani. And Kalani, of course, wearing sort of the generic women's two-piece gear, which is fine. But Kalani getting agitated. She's getting frustrated here. Can't seem to put her away. Miss Parker, don't go defeated too easily. You got to bring your A game for her. Man, great. Just a shoulder tackle, but crushes her. What do you guys, JR, Justin, everybody, what do you guys think about Io, and what do you guys want to see at Mania? Do you want it to be a triple threat too, or what do you guys want to see there? What do you think would be the best case scenario? These ladies are hitting hard, man. They're going for it. Oh, man. Shot to the back on the turnbuckle, and Kalani spills outside the ring. And Jada Parker already talking that trash as they go to picture-in-picture, which is a lot of fun. I tell you what, Jada Parker's promo ability is fantastic. I I really dig it. The promo that she cut last week on Kalani Jordan, setting up this match, like she was just rapid fire machine gun promo and didn't miss a beat. It was fantastic. I thought she was great. So curious where we go from there. Yeah. So Jada and Kalani, who you guys want to see? Who you guys want to see take this one? Let me know in the chat who you got tonight. Oh my, oh my. Still going in our picture-in-picture here tonight. Who we got here? Teflon Don, Mod Father, welcome. We acknowledge you. Have a seat at the table. Feel free to sit at the head, dear guests. Thanks for being here, man. And you're here at the right time. Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan just throwing hands right now as we're in picture-in-picture. And appreciate you being here, dude. All right. Jada going for a cover, but it ain't enough. We'll see what happens here. Man, I got sizzling fajitas on one side of my screen and sizzling in-ring action on the left side of the screen. Which, by the way, don't forget, next Tuesday is Roadblock, and we are going all out on the card for next week. We've got Obafemi and Moose. We've got the Hardys and Fraxium. We've got Julia and Stephanie Vicker. We've got Ethan Page and Javon Evans in a street fight now. That was announced earlier today. So we've got a crazy good card for next week as well. So we're just gearing up for that and waiting for shit. This is a long commercial break, man. Justin Hallencrane says it's Kalani. All right. I see you. I got to admit, since Kalani lost the women's North American title and turned heel, I haven't really kept in touch with her like we're friends or something. I haven't kept up with her as much, and honestly, I'm such a Jada fan. I'm just gonna be marked by wrestling here, and I'm gonna pick Jada just because that's what I want to see happen. So yeah, that's my pick. My pick is Jada Parker for tonight. We'll see what happens. All right. Any other picks from the rest of you between Jada and Kalani tonight? Man, we got a long commercial break here. This feels like we're watching Raw or something. We're watching SmackDown, rather. It's ridiculous. All right. So, yeah, if you see my banners coming and going tonight, I'm just playing with some new stuff here. So I appreciate everybody's patience with all that, as I'm still learning as I go. And that's what we do. Well, we're back from break now, Teflon Donna. Hey, Miss Parker. Booker's already in his bag, dude. I am, yeah, we're fans of Miss Parker in this house. I love any strong, confident performer who stands on business and don't take it from nobody. And that's Miss Parker for sure. I'm curious where, she's high, or doing her high step out of the corner. I'm curious when she inevitably gets on the main roster, which I believe she absolutely will, who she would match up with first, because she's got so much to offer on every level. So, but I wouldn't mind seeing her in NXT for a little bit longer, get some gold, And oh man, twist and leg drop out of the corner off of Kalani, draped over the rope. Two count. Jada gets out at 2. 3 Diglets in the house. Welcome, Mr. Diglets, all 3 of you. Talking about, Miss Parker. I think she'll get. I think she's got an upside, but at the same time, she hasn't even ascended to, the top tiers of NXT yet. And given that NXT's top tiers are taken up with the Jordan Graces, Stephanie Vaqueras, and Julias of the world, I'm sure if she's patient, she can probably work her way up. Well, match well up with Nia Jax. Hold on, Douglas. Let's let everybody see that. I would really enjoy not only the build for that, but I know Nia has some haters out there in the world, but I think that match could be really entertaining. Excellent suggestion, Douglas. Thank you so much for that suggestion, and welcome to the chat, friend. Glad you could be here. And then takedown by Kalani. That was a bit of a weird move. I don't even know how to describe it. It was like half overdrive, half scorpion death drop. I don't know. Seemed like it was better in her head than in the ring. All right, she's dragging Jada to the corner. What's she going to try to do here? Oh, split-legged moonsault, but backed out of it. Schoolboy. Jada is on the defensive right now. Oh, she just picked up. Boom, Samoan drop. Samoan drop. Diglets, NXT, and appearing on my YouTube TV. You know what? I ended up having to make a switch to Hulu with live TV, along with some modifications to be able to see it right now. Because on my YouTube TV plan as well, it didn't air till like 8 o'clock. So, which is hard when you want to watch it live. So yeah, I had to switch over to different providers to do that. But Teflon Don, got something to say. You know how I feel about Nia. She's my queen to be. Hey man, I'm not gonna compete with you, but I will just say that we all have a respect at Marked by Wrestling for Nia Jax in this house. She brings her A game, and her current run has far outperformed her previous ones. And so yeah, we're here for Nia in this house. Are we about to get a Spanish fly? Oh, Kalani, Spanish flies Jada off the top, but Jada with the ring presence rolling out of the ring. Smart work. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh. Jada lured Kalani outside, and now hip checks her outside. Going to take control again, although she's kind of walking a little gingerly. Oh, no. Oh, man. Kalani dodges a hip check, and Jada goes hip checking right into the steps. That did not look fun. She's going to have to ice up after that one, I think. Diglets, shoot me an email or a message or something soon, and maybe I can help you troubleshoot that issue of getting that broadcast. We might be able to figure something out. We'll see. Oh, here comes Kalani off the top. She's put her back in after that failed hip check. 450 eats nothing but Matt. Jada's back up and hip check. Could it be it? 1, 2. Jada picks up the win. Miss Parker is the winner, taking out Kalani Jordan tonight. Really hard fought match. And they hit hard in that match. They did use the steps a little bit in that match. We saw a top rope Spanish fly. I got to admit, I'm a little surprised. My heart was saying Miss Parker, but part of my mind was saying Kalani probably. I'm so glad. Diglets, yes, sir. You got a right to the game. Tell them what's best for business. Jada already cutting promos in the corner camera. Actually, I missed that. people cutting promos into the camera after the match. That was a real WCW thing. WWE really shied away from that for a while. But yeah, I hope they let Jada keep doing stuff like that. We have the D'Angelo family backstage for a promo with our North American champion, Tony D'Angelo. Okay. They're calling into question the health of Tony D'Angelo's back tonight. Okay. The family is here, ladies and gentlemen. A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. Welcome to NXT. You just missed a fine performance. And I just mean that in the ring because I'm a happily, faithfully married man who doesn't give any entendres. But a wonderful performance by Miss Parker taking out Kalani Jordan tonight. And the Hardys are in the house as we go to commercial. And, man, the Hardys entered the building today on camera, just strolling right through that NXT parking lot, not even worried about being jumped because they said, we've been here before. We've got some gimmick infringement here. Teflon Don saying Tony D'Angelo was not the real Teflon Don. Absolutely. We all know that our mod father here, Teflon Don, would not be crying about the excuse of a back injury to defend a title. Am I right? Am I honoring your wishes correctly? I'm going to have to work on that. I'm not quite the impressionist that some of our friends are, but nevertheless, T-Man CEO Yeet is in the chat. What's up, T-Man? So glad you could be here. All right. We've got, yes, indeed, from A&B, the coalition. That's right. The mega powers together again. Actually, if anybody's interested in a subpar Randy Savage impression, then we can get through the commercial break together. Yeah. No pukesters to my left, no pukesters to my right. Just the coalition in the chat here. Yeah. Having a good time, not judging each other, just enjoying the best women's division in WWE and getting our appetizers ready for Roadblock. Yeah, got some mozzarella sticks, some pizza rolls, some potato skins, getting ready to eat good by Chef HBK next week. Yeah. All right. I cannot do that for 2 hours or I won't have a voice and I have to preach on Sunday. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, it's over. It's okay. We're good. So nevertheless, thank you, A&B, for being here. I wouldn't have a channel without you guys. So if you enjoy my friendship, my commentary, my presence, you can thank A&B for for convincing me to get involved. Absolutely. Didn't need them then, don't need them now. Yeah. Absolutely. So good. So good. Randy Savage was one of the best unhinged performers. One of the best promos ever. And I've just grown for my respect for him over the years and all of that. So good stuff. Teflon, thank you, sir. I appreciate the kindness there very, very much so. And Diglett, you're absolutely right. They don't do them like Macho anymore. And just as a fun history project for you all, please show your work. One of the most underrated, we talk about streaks in WrestleMania, right? Talk about obviously The Undertaker, briefly Edge had an undefeated streak as well. And Bianca Belair currently kind of has an undefeated streak. Why am I just talking about all of them with Macho? Not so much a winning streak, but if you look at his WrestleMania opponent resume, it reads like a who's who of great wrestlers. He started in WrestleMania 2. I mean, there's a few dips and valleys in there, but look no further. So he started at WrestleMania 2, I believe, with Georgie Animal Steel, which I know some of y'all might be a little young for him. but he was a terror in his time. WrestleMania 3, of course, arguably the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. WrestleMania 4 took on 4 men in one night. Yeah. Took down Butch Reed, Greg the Hammer Valentine, the one-man gang, who before he was Akeem, the African Dream, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. You've got Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 5. The American Dream, baby, Dusty Rhodes at WrestleMania 6. WrestleMania 7, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. My voice is already going to be shot, so I'm not giving you any Flair tonight. WrestleMania, oh, no, sorry. I was wrong. Warrior was 7. Ultimate Warrior was 7. Ric Flair was 8. He was and did not perform at 9, and then he wrestled Crush in his last WrestleMania match at 10. But listen, find me anybody else who faced Steamboat, Dusty, Flair, Hogan, and Warrior at the biggest stage of them all. There's only one. Yeah. Obafemi doing a press conference right now. I'm so excited to see this match next week. Y'all, also, he's saying a lot of promo stuff. I mean, nothing groundbreaking here, but Oba is still a great performer. So we've got Roadblock next week coming from the theater at Madison Square Garden. So it's on site, but I think it's like an adjacent building or something. And y'all, next week on Raw, we've got the steel cage match between Punk and Rollins. I was skeptical when I found out that Mania was going to be like 2 to 3 weeks later in the year than it normally was. And I'm like, man, is the build going to, I don't know, is it going to bore us after a while? Is it going to be dragged out too long? But they are going to give us a heck of a week next week, y'all. I mean, at least Monday and Tuesday. So Raw is going to be wild. NXT is going to be wild. And who knows what SmackDown will be next week either. Maybe they'll just find their footing and it won't feel like 3 hours of The Brutalist or something. Anyways, little Oscar humor for you guys there. Here we go. I heard the crowd louder than it's been all night. You know what that means. The Hardys are back in the house. Respect to TNA, by the way. Their tag belts are very reminiscent of like the NWA TV title from back in the day. But it's good stuff. Teflon Don with this chat. Steven, I see the subscriber count is continuing to rise. Congratulations, my friend, and everyone. Travis Scott, like that button. That's right. Travis Scott, bust that like button's eardrum. Like you've never been in the ring before. Thank you, Teflon Don. I appreciate it. We're very blessed at the subscriber count. So we have crossed the threshold we need to cross for subscriber count, but I got to work on my view hours and hopefully in good time. My personal goal is to hit it really hard and try to get those hours up before WrestleMania. We'll see what happens. Can't make any promises, but that's my goal. That's what I want to get accomplished. So we'll see what happens. But right now, the Hardys have entered the ring. Everybody do your Jeff. And get ready here. You know what, man? They seem so at peace. They seem, I'm just really happy for the Hardys that they both can walk. Speaking of Travis, he injured Cody, allegedly. I did hear those stories today that Cody might have a ruptured eardrum from that shot that he took. On the one hand, that is just awful. Thank you, T-Man, by the way, for bringing that up. But also on the other hand, I don't think anything's going to stop Cody after this build. But I hope that's not the case, and they're just milking it a little bit to make him more of an underdog. So, but we rejoin the Hardys here. Man, they're just here. They're just taking their victory lap, dude. And honestly, the crowd is just eating it up. Welcome home chants from NXT. You'll love to see it. They really look healthy, too. Like, I think they look healthier than they've looked in the past, probably since the last time they were in WWE.
I mean, it was exhilarating. It was absolutely amazing.
They're chanting Brother Nero. A and B, they needed to work with Travis Scott beforehand. That's why pro wrestling is done the way it is. Yes, A and B. I'm actually going to speak to this because no disrespect to the Hardys, but they're giving just a pretty generic rah-rah kind of speech. And that's okay. The crowd's eating it up and stuff. But yeah, my first thoughts about Travis Scott or having celebrities in the ring for big moments like that, my mind went to two guys, Dennis Rodman in the NWO days and Mike Tyson with DX. And both of those dudes were athletes. And also, I don't know about Rodman, but I know Mike Tyson was a WWE fan all the way back in the Bruno days. And so there's a certain amount of, Hank and Tank are here interrupting the Hardys. There's a certain amount of athleticism that's already in place. And also, Travis is a little out with it with imbibing and different substances just out in the open, like when he accompanied Jey Uso to the ring. And I don't know how lit he was on Saturday night, but they could have handled that a lot better. Or even just told him, like, hey, hold his arms down while I whip him or something. He didn't need to take a swing at him, especially not in the face. Untrained, and the accidents happen that way. So, I mean, I think that's just as much on everybody else as it is on Travis. But, man, Hank and Tank have taken jorts to a whole new level here. They're rocking those cutoffs. They're wanting a shot at the Hardys.
But sometimes to make someone notice you, you gotta kind of break the norm around here. You know what I mean? Yeah. What Matt's trying to say is sometimes you gotta take things to the extreme.
Okay. I kind of like Hank and Tank's T-shirt though. It's a little AC/DC feel.
No. Going to the extreme is much more than tables, ladders, and chairs. It's about getting outside of your comfort zone and pushing yourself past your own perceived limits.
Jeff Hardy is Cobra Kai-ing being extreme. She's like, it's more than just tables, ladders, and chairs. It's a state of mind. Well, the Hardys are trying to put over Hank and Tank here. I wouldn't say the crowd's not buying it, but they seem to be responding much more to Matt and Jeff than they are to Hank and Tank right now. There's some dude in the crowd. I can't tell if his T-shirt is an Axiom mask or if it's a white Power Ranger mask. I think it's Axiom, though. Now that I've said it out loud all night, I'm like, is that a White Ranger mask? Well, Briggs is out here now with Inamura. Briggs and Inamura. I like how Inamura is just wearing a generic WWE logo T-shirt. Somebody was like, put a shirt on him, send him out there. They are getting booed quite a bit. I mean, this is, performance center crowd, but still. Delete chance. Briggs cutting heel promo on Hank and Tank. Yes, sir. So in with our first donation, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to one of our Hall of Fame, one of our Mount Rushmore chatters here, 3 Diglets. Diglets, I tell you what I'm going to do. Give me a second. Okay, we've got a breakdown here. Hank and Tank and the Hardys and Briggs and Inamura just all having at it tonight. Hardys have stepped back from it. All right. Here comes Fraxium. Oh, now we've got Fraxium and the Hardys facing off. So, Diglets, I have screenshotted this message, and you will forever live eternally on screen as marked by wrestling's first donation. So don't worry, that is going to be commemorated. Thank you so much. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me just also screenshot this as well. And we will go from there. But yes, thank you, sir. Much appreciated. All right, man. You are immortalized, my friend. Thank you. All right. So that was an interestingly booked segment. We started out with a promo, had a fight right in the middle, and then ended with a promo. But at the end of the day, we're in a little bit of a holding pattern tonight because the real meat comes next week. But we've got Jordynne Grace and Cora Jade up next. Who do y'all got tonight? Jordynne Grace or Cora? Normally wouldn't say something this crass, but I'm just quoting her. Jordynne Grace on X earlier today said she would go and pop them balloons. So Cora might be in for some pain tonight because Jordynne doesn't play. So anyway, I'm very curious to see how it all goes. So let me just go back here just a second. Say from T-Man, thank you, T-Man. Rock did say he's trained. Travis Scott, who we were talking about earlier, is training at the moment. So we should see progress if he'll be doing in-ring work soon. Yeah, I don't fully blame Travis if that did result in an actual injury to Cody. I mean, you've got to prepare people when they go in the ring, especially if they're going to do something on what to expect. And in any organization, if you're going to just throw somebody in the deep end, they need to be prepared and adequately communicated to. And if he is taking it seriously and he's going to do something, I could see him. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know to what level of celebrity performance he will give because, on the one end, you've got like the who was somebody really bad, like Jay Leno or Donald Trump, even, although he didn't really get in the ring, to the other end of your Bad Bunnies, or you want to say Logan Paul or The Miz. I mean, they were both famous for something else before they got into WWE. So, even if he's halfway down that spectrum, I'll be fine with it. I would be totally okay if he had a Rodman or a Tyson type ability, after coming out of it, and then they just limit him a little bit because he's like, he's got the body type, and I mean this as a compliment, and there's a way to use this rightly. He's got sort of the body type of a Dominic Mysterio, and that he could come in. I'm thinking like Danny Davis in the 80s, the evil ref. He could come in, take some shots, get a bunch of heat, and then run out without getting touched. And then by the end of the match, he takes one good move, and then go from there. So that's how I would do it if anybody ever asked. Chat here from Three Diglets. I agree. You have to train people before they get in the ring, but if you're a real fan of the product, I think you should have someone have an idea how to throw a punch that won't hurt your peer. Totally, 100%. I mean, I don't. If you're gonna be active in the ring, I think protection. Go back to listen to any interview Bret Hart ever gave. Protecting your partner in the ring is the name of the game, and do what you can to mitigate injuries from happening. And so even if he is throwing a punch, that's fine, but how are we going to ensure that's going to happen with a first timer? And so I would hope that's something that happens. But yeah, I mean, if you know absolutely nothing when you go in there, it's gonna show. It's gonna show big time. So it's a little uncomfortable there. So how is everybody doing tonight? Thank you guys again for joining us. We're on the road to Roadblock next week in Madison Square Garden with an epic card that's just going to bring the house down. And we're getting an ad for it now, where we've got Julia versus Stephanie Vicker in a just to be clear here, it is a title for title match not a unification match. There are some people who were a little confused online about that, and it's not a unification match. Neither of those titles are going away. It's just going to be a Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior situation or a Becky Two Belts situation where the winner will hold both titles. I'm still surprised that they booked that this soon. So, I mean, there does it end up with a clean finish? I'm just curious. I'm curious what happens because they are making it because it's not even stand and deliver either, the Mania weekend stuff. So, yeah, man, but you know what? For all my surprised feelings, I am not skeptical. I am a big fan right now of not being able to predict where things are going. I think before Elimination Chamber, I was curious as to what was going to be going on. But since that time, now that things are still a little clearer, but having Jey Uso win the Royal Rumble, having John Cena win the Elimination Chamber, then turn heel, having Bianca win the Elimination Chamber after dropping the tag belts. And still, we don't really know where her loyalties lie with Jade Cargill's return. And now with Io Sky beating Rhea Ripley. Like, dude, I love not knowing. I love not knowing. And there's a difference between you don't know and it's clear that they also don't know. That's not a great place to be. But when you don't know and they clearly are holding some cards in their hand that they're not showing you, that's the best time to be a wrestling fan. Like you forfeit your joy worrying about predictions and being right. Now it's fun to play with predictions, but you don't want to marry yourself to them to where when it doesn't go your way that you get bitter about it. Oh, okay. Our LFG legends will also be at Roadblock next week. So Mickey James will be in the house. Obviously, Booker T is going to be in the house. That's a little weird. But Bubba Dudley and Taker will be there. So we'll see. Quote here from Dossie Chatham. Dossie, I'm going to bring you up on the screen. According to Alvarez, it's because one of them is hurt, but that is Alvarez. So take that with an entire box of salt. Amen, Dossie, to that. I do prefer Alvarez over Meltzer. He seems to be more logically minded. If you hear any noises in the next few minutes, by the way, my tag team partner, Lad, just jumped into the room with a great sense of urgency. But, yeah, so, I mean, if there is an injury situation, I hate that because I wouldn't want either one of them to miss Mania weekend either after they just got here. I think I did hear that. Maybe I did hear a whisper of that. But also, like, it's becoming clearer and clearer that the so-called experts, and I don't mean that with any sense of derision, but it's becoming clearer and clearer that at the top of the card of WWE, insiders don't know as much as they think they know, more now than ever. But we got Cora Jade and Jordan Grace ready to roll here tonight. Who do y'all? Masha Slamovich is in the house. And that caught Cora Jade's attention before getting into the ring. So, okay, we've got Cora and we've got Jordan. Who do y'all have? Who do y'all have in this match? Big Mama Pump or I don't know if Cora has any nicknames, but there we go. All right, A&B, walk those mascots. I'll try to give you as good of a play-by-play as possible. T-Man, I saw a report today that WWE just filed a trademark for Break-A-Wish. No, don't tell me they're actually going to do it. What if they're planning for this John Cena heel run to be far more vicious? I saw the memes of someone putting Rock and Cena next to each other and calling them the Break-A-Wish Foundation, which is hysterical to me. I think that would be pretty wild. How do I feel about Rey Fenix, Justin? Well, I'm excited that all signs are pointing to him coming to WWE and likely teaming with with Penta at some point, probably sooner rather than later once he gets here. But I gotta say, I've been really pleased with Penta's solo performances, and for my money, I'm not in a rush to put Phoenix and Penta together in the tag division, because the tag division of the main roster is well stacked with good teams, but they don't seem to get the kind of attention that the other divisions are getting right now. So there's no shortage of good matches and stuff, but I would rather Penta still maybe chase a mid card title first. But yeah, absolutely stoked to see the Lucha Brothers at some point. So yeah, I do want to see them. I do want to see them together eventually for sure. Absolutely. Justin's got Jordan. So does Three Diglets. Yeah, I've got Jordan in this match too. I'm excited that we're even getting this match though. Again, it seemed like something we wouldn't get for a little bit longer, but here we are right away. They just announced on the screen too that Cale Dixon will be taking on Trick Williams tonight in the sort of consequences of that backstage segment. So they'll be matching up tonight as well. And we still have the North American title on the line with Tony D'Angelo and Shawn Spears, which, as I'm looking at the ticker, is actually incorrectly displayed. So sorry about that, y'all. But it is what it is. Now, but as we're continuing here, Cora Jade in control. So we'll see what comes from that. If she can capitalize here while I'm making a brief update to my information. All right. Okay. That was going to bug me for the rest of the night if I just noticed. So sorry for the delay there, everybody. But I agree, T-Man Penta's been doing good as a singles competitor. So hopefully he'll get a chance to pursue that a little bit more before ending up in a tag team with Rey Fenix. Although, I mean, I'm sure that'll be fire for sure once they get it. All right. Jordan trying to retreat a little out to the apron. Man, Jordan Grace does not skip leg day, does she? She's, a disciplined weightlifter for sure. Cora just gloating over the body of Jordan Grace right now as we go into picture-in-picture. Going through that. So, yeah. All right. So what do you guys think? So we're at NXT right now. We're a week away from Roadblock, but we also have SmackDown coming up on Friday. Curious what you guys think about that. Excuse me. We have determined once again that LA Knight, is the number one contender for the U.S. title currently held by Shinsuke Nakamura. What are you guys' thoughts about that? Do you think LA Knight regains the title? I don't know what it is about Nakamura, man, that WWE cannot seem to properly capitalize on. But it's so strange. He seems to get a good character package. I don't think he's ever had a bad variation of his theme song for as many bad theme songs as have come through WWE lately. His have always been great. And yet there is a disconnect. There is something they are not putting with him to make it work. And, I don't normally think this way, but so I'm curious what you guys think. I'm going to pose a question out here. There are very few performers, I think, who left WWE or NXT and made their way to AEW. And you could argue their career is far better in AEW than it ever was in WWE. Not less, not the same, but better. Now, it does exist. I mean, there are some, Tony Storm, Swerve Strickland. There are others too. But do you guys think, hypothetically, if Shinsuke Nakamura went to AEW, if he would be better off or the same or worse off. I only ask that question because I think for all of WWE's investment in international stars from time to time, I see Tony Khan as putting more value on Japanese wrestlers. And so I'm curious if he would succeed more over there. But by succeeding more, though, I mean, if you look at Nakamura's resume, the only thing that's really missing is a world title on the main roster. And sometimes we think about that because we get this perception that someone's not being used well or they're being buried or whatever. But if you look on paper about everything they've accomplished, you're like, oh yeah. Because I even saw somebody one day trying to say that WWE tried to bury Asuka, which is the funniest thing. I'm like, you just don't watch the product, do you? You just don't watch the shows because she hasn't always been on top. But I don't think there's hardly anything that she hasn't accomplished in that company other than main eventing WrestleMania and maybe being queen of the ring. She's literally won everything there is to win. So that is bonkers talk. But with Nakamura, I'm curious. Curious what you guys think. So anyway, in that talk, we're still in picture-in-picture, so there's no commentary. But Cora Jade is in the corner being tended to by medical staff while we were talking to Nakamura. So I apologize. I'm not sure what has happened. I'll revisit your answers there in just a second about Nakamura. Oh, wow. Referee stoppage. Jordan Grace wins via referee stoppage. I'm so sorry, you guys. I didn't see what happened. But she was holding her head. Her hair was obscuring her face. If they go to actual commercial break, like real commercial break, not picture in picture, I'll rewind it and see what happened. But yeah, something, and that seemed legit as well. So now, I mean, I'm concerned about what that might be because Cora Jade has a Knockouts Championship match against Masha Slamovich already booked. So I hope that doesn't derail that as well. I'll keep my eyes on the commercial. Again, sorry, guys, about that. It was in picture-in-picture, so I didn't even hear anything because the commercial break happened. Man, okay. Well, now I'm very curious as to what happened there. But so Cora Jade and Jordan Grace, that match called off early due to referee stoppage to an apparent injury in the head area of Cora Jade. Hopefully she's not concussed or anything worse. But I'll try to go back and see if we can pinpoint that moment, see what happened. All right. So 3 Diglets. Let's see. What did our friend Diglets have to say? I think with Shinsuke, they didn't catch lightning in a bottle. I can agree with that. He was really special in NXT when he debuted there. But yeah, they just couldn't get there. And so like Diglets continues, there's a vibe with Shinsuke that he gives me. It comes off as content. I can see that. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't judge the guys who view that in the career, especially the ones who have put in the work over the years, who, because Shinsuke, even though he's been in WWE, oh gosh, well, I guess probably like about eight, almost 9 years now, hasn't he? I didn't realize it had been that long, but nevertheless, I can see him being content with where he is. I would have said the same thing about Kevin Owens as well, but Kevin Owens has been going ham lately with every opportunity they give him. But I do think he is content to stay in WWE as well. So there's that. T-Man also says, I think both because it's not much they're missing, in my opinion. Okay, so you're not thinking, do you mean that to say you don't think much of Nakamura as it is? Alan Crane says, I think with Shinsuke, it's timing things. Yeah. I think he could have beaten Jinder Mahal when he was champion. That was probably the best shot to get him up there. And after that, yeah, missed opportunity. split screen interview between Ethan Page and Javon Evans right now. Paige is cutting a great promo here on Javon. Basically crediting Javon for him snapping because it made him realize he was going soft. Javon's eyes are locked in, man. Javon said, "I'm put this on my mama. Ain't nobody gonna take my joy. Ain't nobody gonna take my smile." And that's facts. Okay, man. All right. They're talking over each other now, just arguing. That's the best promo I've ever heard from Javon. It's a good babyface promo, you know. And Ethan Page, man, he is phenomenal. So great stuff. Diglets, yes, I will. I will absolutely email you. I'll email you after the show, and I'll get that there. Peak Shinsuke was after he turned on Styles. He lost at Mania. They could have put the title on the next pay-per-view. Yeah, I mean, that would have been a great time. Like, that would have been a great time even to just trade the belt back and forth. Like, because you know that AJ would have made him look like $1 million. All right, we're in a legit commercial break right now, so I'm going to try to rewind a little bit and see if I can find where Cora got hurt. All right, so let me just mute it here and see what happened. All right. So if I come back and we're already missing part of the Trick Williams match, I'll try to be quick here. But all right. So seems like standard fare. That's the wild thing. She's wrestling fine. And again, if you're just joining us, so we had a not impromptu. It was announced at the beginning of the show, but Cora Jade versus Jordan Grace. That match was called off due to referee stoppage, but it happened during the commercial break while we were in picture-in-picture. So we're not actually sure what happened to Jordan. To Cora. I'm sorry. Huh. Okay, so no, that's just selling. For a second, I thought her Cora's neck whipped a little bit, getting some whiplash into a turnbuckle, but that didn't seem to be it. Yeah, like just a lot of grandstanding and hot dogging right now from Cora. I mean, she doesn't seem hurt at all. She's in control. I kind of want to. All right, I'm just going to fast forward just a little bit. Yeah, still nothing out of the ordinary. All right, she's going for a double underhook here. And now Jordan backs her into the corner. Oh, yeah, something did happen. Okay, so whatever it is, it's very difficult to see. So Cora, put her like in an underhook suplex. She just rammed her into the corner, right? And at that point, the referee already knew something was up. And talked to her, and then got in between them and threw up the X. So she's oh yeah. She had to have been okay. I'm no expert on this stuff, but this is the closest thing I can determine that happened. Is it looked like a standard Irish whip into the corner, and it didn't look ugly. Like if you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't have noticed it. But when Cora hit the corner, her head like whipped back, which makes me scared for her because she have a neck injury history, and because after that she hit Jordan, and then tried to do the old like you step on the bottom rope to bounce yourself up and come down. Like she tried to get on the bottom rope and she just kind of like slipped off of it. I'm curious. It's probably not responsible of me to fully speculate on this. So I don't know, but it's very unclear what might have happened. But that seemed to be because at first I thought she was selling because she seemed to, again, it was during a commercial break, so we don't have audio of how loud she was, but vocally you could see her mouth like wide open, like she was yelling when she got hit by that Irish whip, which is kind of a weird time to sell if you're selling. So I'm curious if she injured something in her neck or the upper part of her back or something going into the corner, because they continued on for about a minute after that, but it wasn't with a lot of intensity. And when she went to put Jordan in that sort of like pedigree style position, the double underhooks, when she was picking her up, she clearly whispered something in Jordan's ear. Jordan reversed it by backing her into the corner, and then the referee got between them and then called up for the X. So it certainly doesn't seem like Angle, but the good news is that she walked off. So I wonder if maybe she could be under concussion protocol or something. I don't know, but whatever it was, they took caution. They took precaution with her, and she was able to walk out under her own power, and she appeared to be lucid as well. So hopefully it's something that's recoverable for Cora, because she just got back, and they've been using her pretty heavily in this TNA WWE relationship. I mean, she's got a title match for the Knockouts title as well. So, man, come on, dude. I mean, to be fair, it's been a rough night for the ladies. Recap here coming back from commercial just reminded me that Chelsea Green got her nose busted open, courtesy of Zaria earlier, and then she ate a soul snatcher on top of it. Do you think they should put Trick in the Shield 2.0 faction? Justin asks. No, I don't think so. Not unless he is somehow the de facto leader of it. Trick doesn't need to be in a faction in NXT unless he's the leader of it. But with the attitude that he's got right now, I mean, he's got some edge to him as Trick is about to make his entrance here. I mean, I wouldn't hate it, but he'd need to be at the front of it. He'd need to be at the front of it because he's at the point now where he ain't nobody's number two. He's, that time with Mello is done, and he's definitely showing that ruthless aggression and doing all that. So let's hope if he does that he could be in a front and center. It would also give some name recognition to that faction, because your boy here is still learning some of our lesser known names in NXT, but yeah. So it would help with some brand recognition for that group that still doesn't have a name, I don't think. Dossie, yes, Evolve is going head to head with Dynamite, but to be fair, Evolve is airing on Tubi, and I mean, I don't know how many people have Tubi. I've only ever watched anything on Tubi when I was searching for a specific movie, not actually searching for Tubi. I've never gone to Tubi because I want to go to Tubi. Oh, Trick hit a jumping knee right out of the gate, and he is. Whoa! They just UFC'd this match. They straight UFC'd this match. He charged out of the corner like a Bill Goldberg and popped him with a knee to the face, and then, man, the ref had to jump in there like Herb Dean or somebody. Well, not Herb Dean because he would have waited 5 seconds, but oh, Trick already calling him out too. Calling out Eddie Thorpe. He made quick work. King Kong Bundy would be proud. He knocked him out with a high knee and then started raining blows on him, and the ref had to dive on him. I like this Trick. I like Goldberg Trick. Hey, buddy. Sometimes you got to show your puppy some love. That's not a Jerry Lawler reference. I'm literally petting my dog right now. 2 weeks. Oh, okay. So the week after Roadblock. Okay. So in 2 weeks, we got Trick and Eddie Thorpe again, but they're going underground. They're doing NXT Underground. That's 2 weeks from now. That's the week after Roadblock. But you know what I like about NXT? They're doing a great job of, and Raw is doing this a little bit too, I've noticed. They're booking ahead. They're giving you reasons to come back and watch already. They're not just assuming you're going to be here. Oh, no, Jordan's been jumped in the back by Roxanne Perez with a chair. The parking lot has spread into the backstage area, y'all. It's dangerous out there in the Performance Center. So Roxanne is wanting a pound of flesh from Jordan for what she did to Cora. Now y'all got me wondering. Now they got me wondering, was Cora working that injury? Or was it legit, and did they actually pivot that fast? I don't know. And that is why I love wrestling. That's why I love wrestling right now. That's why I love what WWE is doing. Like, I don't know if that was always the plan, or if HBK was like, whoa, Cora's out. Roxy, go take her out. We're going to give the fans something. There's no way to tell, until, never mind. I don't want to throw shade too much because that's not the kind of space I want this to be. I'm sure some people think they already know the answer, though. I don't, though, and I'm okay with it. As long as Cora's okay. As long as she's legit okay. Yeah, so I as long as she's legit okay, I don't mind being worked because I like being a mark. That makes it fun. I'm a mark when I go to the movies. Why else would I want to see if Paddington makes it through Peru or not? Which, by the way, is a great movie, by the way. Don't ever think you're too grown for Paddington. Yes. I hope this is an amended quote from Ted Lasso, Justin, because that's one of my favorite shows ever. Wrestling is life and wrestling is death, but also wrestling is life. Yes, I have seen Ted Lasso. That is one of my favorite. I was going to see it. It's one of my favorite shows of all time for its brief run. I was just looking around to see if I had any Ted Lasso things to show you. In my church office, I actually have some Ted Lasso Funko Pops. Little Ted Lasso holding up the believe sign. It's helpful for church. Sometimes you just got to remember to believe. Also have so we did a fun thing. We did a Halloween event at our church a couple of years ago where my sons and I, we had, they call it like a trunk or treat. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that term or not, but basically for neighborhoods who don't do trick or treating. You go to a church and everybody brings their car and sets it up like almost like a little front door. But you costume it basically and you give out candy to kids. And so we did that. And my car was a Ted Lasso theme car with my sons being born in Uganda. One of them dressed up like Obasanya, and he had the Obasanya jersey. And then, I just told people I was Coach Beard because, hey, what was I going to do? I'm not going to shave to be Ted. But we had some Ted Lasso gear and stuff for that. It was a lot of fun. And I still have a little fleece throw blanket with the Believe sign printed on it, which is a very comfortable blanket. I use it almost all the time when it's cool in the house. So anyways, yeah, love Ted Lasso. If you guys ever have Apple TV Plus, Ted Lasso is a great show to watch, as is Severance, by the way, if you guys have that streaming platform. But yeah, man, NXT's cooking tonight. What was my favorite scene? I'm assuming you're talking about Ted Lasso. That's a good question. I want to immediately jump to the dartboard scene from season 1. That's really great. But I also love the episode where they made all the rom-com references where Roy comes back to be a coach. The scene of him getting back to the stadium and entering the field again. That whole montage was really cool. I like that a lot. And then also third, I'll give you one from every season, actually, because the first one was from season 1, was season 2. And then season 3, my favorite scene was Jamie figuring out what it means to play total football and him coming up to the front of the locker room and basically coaching everybody on how to do it right. And like him realizing that everybody respected him as a leader. And then like the subsequent scene of them actually scoring a goal that way, even though they lost the game. The red string scene was awesome. Yeah, that's great. All right, we're back and they're reviewing the Roadblock card. Dude, Obafemi and Moose, no bread, no water, just meat. Big E is somewhere very happy about this matchup. And then the TNA Tag Team Championship, the Hardys take on Fraxium. So it should be pointed out that Oba versus Moose is for the NXT Championship, and the TNA tag titles are on the line with Hardys and Fraxium. And then again, it is title versus title, both the women's NXT title and women's North American title, champion versus champion, title for title, Julia versus Stephanie Vaquer. So, whom we have not seen either one of them yet tonight. Curious about that. And now we've also got a street fight, Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. Gonna be a barn burner. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna be eating good next week, y'all. So let's see what we can do. And Taker has already tweeted that he's gonna be there. Taker will be in the house. I'm curious if they give him anything more than just a sort of cameo pan to the crowd. We'll see what happens. But should be a lot of fun. So if you guys want to help grow the channel, those are 2 ways you can donate until we get to our live stream options, not our live stream, our super chat options, which we're hoping. We have a goal at Marked by Wrestling to get super chats by WrestleMania. So next week, maybe we'll start pushing that a little bit just to remind everybody what we're wanting to do. So here we go. Let's see. We've still got a main event. Now they've been doing these press conference vignettes all night with Moose now. They're really trying to legitimize Roadblock for the show that it is with NXT versus TNA. And that's really cool. I like the sort of reverence they're giving it. It should be a lot of fun. A lot of mutual respect at play with Moose and Obafemi. Moose said Obafemi can be the ruler of NXT. He just won't be the champion. Very casual. Man, in an alternate universe, just looking at Moose right now, he's all decked out in a suit and everything. Moose could have been a great addition to the Hurt Business a couple of years ago. Which I know is something we just say whenever we see a strong black wrestler. But really, though, he's got the look for it.
And based on what's happened the past couple of weeks and what just happened moments ago, I can announce that Roxanne Perez will take on Jordan Grace at the theater at Madison Square.
Oh, Ava has just announced Roxanne Perez versus Jordan Grace at Roadblock next week, too.
We are all dying to know why Fallon Henley hasn't gotten the rematch for the North American title yet.
Oh, Fatal Influence has crashed the press conference and wants to know if Fallon Henley wants to know why she hasn't had a rematch yet. Yeah, Diglets, it's official. Roxanne Perez versus Jordan Grace next week at MSG. And now we got Ricky Saints walking backstage. Oh, and he's been confronted by Ridge Holland. Protect your neck, Ricky. Ricky's still walking. Oh, Ricky and Shawn Spears coming face to face. Okay. He tells Ricky the Revolution will be televised when he wins the North American Championship. Okay. They're testing the waters with Ricky Saints and a few different contenders. Ridge Holland, Shawn Spears, which is very interesting that Shawn is on his way to a title match right now versus a questionably not 100% Tony D'Angelo. Could we see Ricky Saints versus North American champion Shawn Spears in the next few weeks? We'll see what happens. But, yeah, to confirm, 3 Diglets. Roxanne Perez versus Jordan Grace at Roadblock. So let's recap this Thanksgiving dinner of a card that NXT is giving us next week from Madison Square Garden. 24 hours removed from a steel cage match between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. We've got NXT versus TNA in Obafemi versus Moose for the NXT Championship. We've got the Hardys defending the TNA Tag Team titles against Fraxium. We've got Jordan Grace versus Roxanne Perez now. We've got, see, I'm already forgetting because this is what I'm trying to go over the top of my head. We've got title for title, Julia versus Stephanie Vicker. And we've got a street fight with All Ego, Ethan Page, and Javon Evans. Not a pee break on the card at all. So make sure, bring your bedpans and bring your snacks. I know don't get those mixed up, but we're going to be locked in for a couple hours next week, and it's going to be good stuff. So we'll see what happens. 3 Diglets says, I'm becoming a huge fan of Roxanne. Lil Dude won me over. Right? Seriously, though, you got a good point there. Like, I didn't see it in the beginning. Honestly, I underestimated her. I thought she was too small. You want to know what's funny? What really made me give her a second chance was my GM mode in 2K. So when you book a card, I'm going to keep an eye on the TV now so I don't miss anything important. When you do my GM mode, I was playing 2K23. You book your card every week for whatever show you're the GM of. And, you want to book feuds that have a contrast of styles. You'd want to put her against a Nia Jax or something like that, and you would get, a good match rating for your GM mode. But they have promo segments you can go in, and you can either, escalate a feud that you already have booked to get that feud hotter, or if you just want to get good ratings or generate revenue, you would put someone in that promo spot who has a high promo ability. So you think like a CM Punk or a John Cena or whatever. And it's like a 1 to 5 ranking scale. Well, apparently Roxanne Perez was rated a 5 on promo ability. And I was like, what you talking about, Hunter? What you talking about, Triple H? What you talking about, HBK? And so I then made myself pay more attention to her. And her title run there, the last time Jordynne Grace kind of dipped in and out a little bit. And Diglett's T-Man. I said, yeah, I know, right? Listen, I'm not saying that it's true. I'm just saying it made me pay more attention to her, And so I started paying attention, I think, at a good time. Like when Jordynne Grace was kind of, dipping her toe in the water of NXT before she officially left TNA and some of that stuff. And I'm like, okay, she is better than I'm giving her credit for. Her work with Bayley very recently has been great. And so, yeah, I mean, she's about it. I don't hate it. And I don't know if I'd give her a 5, but I used her a lot in GM mode. I'll tell you that. Her contract was cheap and she got me good ratings. So what are you going to do? Roxy has come a long way. And, she was, if I'm remembering correctly, she's a student of Booker T's. And so I'm sure I wouldn't go so far as to say she's a made woman, but I do think that she'll probably be afforded every opportunity on the main roster to sink or swim. So if she takes advantage of that, she's going to be around for a long time. All right. Here comes Shawn Spears with his Jack Nicholson shining writing on the wall, Tron. I just noticed that those words actually spell out NXT. I do not pay attention enough. Now, why is the camera panning all the way up on Izzy Dame when she's not even the one wrestling? Don't worry. I know why they're doing it. I know what you're doing in NXT. But still, yeah. Truth will ultimately prevail, but there is pain in bringing it to light. That is an awfully prescient statement to make for a heel. You can live by that. Truth will ultimately prevail, but there's pain in bringing it to light. That's not a heel statement. That's just mature, responsible thinking. But the pain shouldn't be with chair shots, nevertheless. T-Man is telling us, I wonder this year Triple H will give her the Tiffany Stratton come up Roxanne. If anybody's going to, T-Man, I think I bet she would be the betting favorite if Triple H was going to do that. And honestly, something I really, really like, obviously there's plenty of reasons why we're happy that Vince is no longer in control, but I'm really, really glad that Hunter and Shawn are in control of each show, because there is an implicit trust and friendship in their relationship. So where Shawn could release Roxanne to the main roster, Hunter probably already to a degree sees the vision that Shawn has. And Shawn being a mentor for Triple H when he was coming in, I bet there's enough mutual respect there that we are going to see less and less fumbling of NXT talents when they come to the main roster. Because the pipeline is what it's all about. You've got, as Tony D'Angelo enters with his family, the North American champion for this defense tonight. As we've got as our main event tonight, we've got about 15 minutes left in the show. We've seen so many of those NXT stars get fumbled on the way up, but this time, this pipeline they built with the ID program and with Evolve and the Performance Center here at NXT, and then the main roster, I know more cynical minds will probably see that and say, oh, it's a monopoly or whatever, But from my vantage point, oh, and Lillian Garcia is here. How did I not know? Is this her first time showing up tonight? I have not noticed her all night long. Of course, she hadn't been on camera, but Lillian Garcia is announcing this match. They're making it a big deal. Lillian's an NXT. Okay, Lillian, we see you. I wonder if she'll be here next week for Roadblock. Anyway, I've started this sentence like 8 times. Cynical minds would probably see that and see this pipeline idea and think it's a monopoly. But if you want the stars on your program to wrestle a certain style and be accustomed to a certain layout and stuff, why not get them from the very beginning and have them trained so when they come to the main roster, they're camera ready, man. They're ready for the way you do it. Yeah, T-Man, Lillian on NXT, dude. If I can borrow from Booker T and from my brother A, I like it, man. Like, it works. She brought gravitas and importance to this moment. Because when she shows up and they dim the lights and drop the spotlight, dude, this match feels like something. All right, Tony D'Angelo versus Shawn Spears. Who do you got for this title match? I got to admit, I think this could be Shawn Spears' night. I think he could come away with it. I mean, we are in surprise season right now. I think he could take it. He could take it, and we could have a Ricky Saints, going on here. Justin Allen Crane, he's got Shawn Spears. Second donation ever from A&B. Thank you, A&B, for the love and support. Much appreciated. Love you guys. Would not be doing this channel without you guys and your friendship. Oh, well, let's give it to the best. Like you just said, I like it, man. I definitely have little brother energy when it comes to the impressions, but you know what? Little brothers never stop even when they're supposed to. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'll give it to that AEW guy, Spears. Yeah, you know what? He's solid. He's, I don't know if I'd say he's a 10, but, he's really good. Anyways, match continues. I think I'd probably feel differently about Tony D'Angelo if I had been more of a faithful NXT watcher leading up to, when I got back into it. But I never really got into – I don't say it was a bad gimmick, but I just never really bought in to Tony D'Angelo and the whole family thing. But clearly the NXT faithful have an affection for him. And that's just undeniable, especially when he ended up winning the North American title. So I'm curious, though. He definitely strikes me as one of those guys where I'm a little on the fence about how his gimmick would work on the main roster. But here, I love it. It's good here. And just like I miss Chase U. I love Chase U for NXT. I think it would probably end up being a little Spirit Squadish on the main roster, but I think it's great for NXT. Because NXT's crowd is very much like watching a college basketball game. There's a different level of intensity in play here. So it's good stuff. All right, both guys are wincing a little bit, and Tony D'Angelo definitely favoring the lower back as he's still in control. We're in picture-in-picture. Again, last time we were in picture-in-picture for Cora Jade and Jordan Grace, they called off the match, so I'm going to try to pay more attention right now. All right. Excuse me. Celsius went down the wrong. It went down the Fahrenheit pipe. Anyway. All right. So question for you guys. Next week is NXT Roadblock. We have run down the card once or twice tonight. Tell me, what match are you most looking forward to? Is it Braxium and the Hardys? Is it Obafemi and Moose? Is it Julia and Stephanie? Is it the street fight? Is it the newly announced not Cora, excuse me. Hang in there, Cora. Is it the newly announced Jordan Grace and Roxanne Perez? Let me know. And excuse me while I attend to this choking just a second. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think in the comments about what Roadblock matchup Justin Howling Crane is looking most forward to the tag team match. I got to agree. That could have just been an exhibition. It didn't even have to be a title match to me. I just want to see them go at it. And I think the Hardys will be, give their best in that match. And I'll be very curious to see the pacing and the speed of that match and how hard they go for that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Diglets is let me put you on screen, Diglets. Looking forward to Stephanie versus Julia because that's Bay. All right, I have to ask. You mentioned 2 performers and 1 Bay. So is it Stephanie? Is it Julia? Or are you trying to is 3 Diglets trying to put 3 dibs or 2 dibs on both here? Let us know, Diglets. And just, from a happily and faithfully married man's perspective, Diglets, I'll just say you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong in either option. They are 2 wonderfully talented, beautiful ladies who can get it done in the ring. And, just excellent additions to the roster in every category. So can't go wrong. Also, Julia's kind of adorable. I saw a backstage segment on like WWE's TikTok one day where they were going just like rolling up on people in the locker room and asking them what their favorite candy was. And she said cough drops. And I couldn't tell if there was a translation issue or she legit just likes cough drops better than anything. And I'm like, that's the last thing I was expecting anyone to say. But it was kind of wholesome. So I'm like, oh, Julia, you're the best. Honey lemon cough drops. Yeah, it's wild. A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. Roadblock, definitely excited to see the Titans, Oba and Moose tear it down. Let's get a ring collapse. I like it, dude. I like it. No bread, no water, just meat. Booker T. I'm looking forward to Booker T's commentary during that match because he's going to have to – they can't put that and the Stephanie Vaquera match back to back because brother's going to need a come down, a bit of a relief moment, a bit of a reprieve. That's the word I was looking for in between those 2 matches because he's going to be amped for sure. All right, so we're back in action here. Shawn Spears back in control, just attacking the back of Tony D'Angelo, horseman style, very old school. Just jumping on the back, and now got him in a camel clutch / Steiner recliner, depending on your mileage. Sorry, y'all. I am struggling a little bit. Give me just a second. That Celsius hit me hard, y'all. And right at the end of the night, too, when I'm already starting to get ponyish. Translation, a little hoarse. Anyway. All right, little chain wrestling, few reversals here, but Spears again, a sort of a backbreaker, modified backbreaker there, like a Scorpion Death Drop style into a backbreaker. So Spears definitely in control in this match. Now he's talking some trash. So we'll see who comes out on top here as we are winding down to the end of the show. But Tony is starting to fire up here. He grabbed Tony by the face and was smack talking him, and Tony has grabbed him back. Very kind of 80s babyface style. Yeah, I wouldn't say he hulked up, but he's definitely getting his fire back, getting in some offense off the ropes, clothesline, or no, just some short punches. And a belly to belly brings Spears down to the ground. D'Angelo back in control. Crowd is fired up, firmly behind the Don of NXT. And then, spear by D'Angelo reversed a reversal to the corner, but only a count of 2. Justin Allen Crane. If the Hardys win, I think that's set up for the NXT title match at Stand and Deliver. I can definitely see there being multiple matches at play between Fraxium and the Hardys, and what better way to do that than for Fraxium to take the TNA tag titles from the Hardys. And maybe you could have both titles on the line, or something to that effect. So one thing I am expecting next week, obviously we are going to have one woman hold both NXT titles. I think we are on the precipice here, given that we were told by WWE that it's a multi-year partnership, that somebody from one organization is going to be holding the other team's title. How many times, what title, and for how long, I don't know, but I just know we've got to be getting close to that happening. And next week surely seems set up for that opportunity to take place. Okay, Spears back in control, and now he's got Tony D'Angelo locked in a sharpshooter that's got to be wreaking havoc on his back. Tony in a lot of pain, but not giving up. And he has moved Tony around in the ring. Very smart as to where Tony is now in the middle of the ring and not toward the ropes. But Tony using that adrenaline to kick out. Spears is wrestling like a mid-'80s Four Horsemen. And the historian in me absolutely loves that. Count. Oh, Izzy Dame trying to save a potential 3 count. Oh, factions are warring by ringside. She tried to pull Spears' leg onto the rope, but we have a breakdown now. All hell breaking loose. Everybody being spilled out of the ring. Stax Lorenzo still in the ring. Oh, no. Oh, no. What a spot. What a well-executed spot. Stax Lorenzo was in the ring in between Spears, and D'Angelo was on the floor. Spears shoves Lorenzo into D'Angelo, who's on the apron, who flies off and lands on the floor, onto a chair on the floor, right on the back. Death Valley Driver. This could be it. Is Spears the new champion? 2.999. D'Angelo kicks out. Wow. I thought we were done. I thought that was it, man. And Lorenzo is looking remorseful as all get out. I thought that was it. Loud NXT chants from the NXT faithful. Very surprised at how that one played out. Whew. Crowd is alive. A lot of clapping and stomping going on. Spears back in control, picking up D'Angelo. He's going for another Death Valley Driver, but can he take it? Can he execute? But D'Angelo with the elbows. Is he going for a reversal? This is awesome, Chance. He rolls his way out of it, still holding the back. Oh, no. He went for a spine buster reversed. 2. Spears takes it. Oh, wow. Oh, we have a new North American champion, Shawn Spears. The crowd is deflated. But that was, guys, that was such an old school match. D'Angelo's back gave out on him. He tried to get him up for the spine buster, couldn't finish it, and his back gave out on him. Spears landed on top, hooked the legs, and got the 3. That was such, I can't tell you how much, like, listen, after Elimination Chamber and stuff, like, this isn't better than those matches per se, but I'm telling you, I feel like I just got transported back to TBS in 85, 86 TV title type match. Like, great storytelling on D'Angelo selling the injury, Lorenzo playing a part in aggravating that injury by mistake. Spears capitalizes on the injury, and we have a new NXT North American champion. Rickardy, better late than never, dude. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Just an incredibly well booked match. Everything that happened in that match made sense. It advanced a story. It has probably created tension within the Don's family. And just before that match, we saw a backstage stare down between Shawn Spears and Ricky Saints. Ricky could be waiting in the wings to challenge for the North American title. So, guys, grab your plates because we eating at NXT. It has been what I can't heap enough. I can heap enough praise, but I'm so pleasantly surprised by how well that match. This is how you do professional wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, is when you see a match on the card and you're sitting there thinking it'll be fine, and it comes in and it over delivers. Case in point, look back at last night, Gunther versus Otis. We were all pretty sure of how that match was going to end, we thought, but Otis still brought it. It was still an entertaining match. Even the tag title match, the Creeds and the War Raiders. Guys, NXT is on fire. If they don't have a larger-than-life performer that you're already fantasy booking on the main roster, the other guys are in there putting in actual work in the ring. And when I say actual work, I mean telling a story through the moves, through the story of the match. It's not always high-flying viral moments. That match was actually pretty grounded and pretty, I wouldn't call it basic because nowadays that sounds like an insult, but it was a well-booked, well-put-together main event between Shawn Spears and Tony D'Angelo. I was very impressed by that because sometimes it can be clear as day where a match is trying to go with a spot, but man, to have that many pieces of the puzzle happening, because you basically had two factions at ringside going to war, and you had like a Mankind versus The Rock January 4th, 1999 kind of breakdown happened in the ring mid-match, and everybody still got to their spots for that match for that spot at the end of Tony landing off the ring, off the apron, landing back first on top of the chair, which led to that finish. And it was a great false finish too. Like you thought it was over and he was about to hit, a big move and just collapsed under the weight of his own. I've seen Lex Luger and Ric Flair do that back in the 80s, man. Like I've seen it before, but it was executed just as well. I'm very like I don't know. I feel like a proud dad right now. Like NXT was so good. We gotta say it together. A and B combos. NXT, NXT, NXT. Man, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Not just because we're on the road to WrestleMania, which is one of the most exciting times of the year, but we are firing on every possible cylinder we can. So, SmackDown and your 3 hours, the ball is in your court, dude. Let's see what you can bring on Friday, because Monday is here to play. NXT is here to play. And they are bringing their A games. They're bringing their A games even with their, and I don't mean this as an insult. They're bringing A games with their B players. That's what NXT is doing right now. It is note. Yeah. Rickardy asks, is the P Paul? If you're asking about my middle, if you're asking about my my Venmo, yes, it is. Named after my grandfather. Anyways, but thank you guys so much for joining the chat tonight. Mark your calendars. Next Tuesday is Roadblock. We are going to be doing it live here for NXT Roadblock. It's going to be huge. I will be in touch with you guys. I'll see you guys on Friday for SmackDown. I'll definitely be in the chat for Raw on Monday. We're going to have a great time. Tuesday is going to be amazing. We're going to do this thing. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for being there. Give me your ratings if you're still here for the show. That was a great show. I would give it a solid. I think I'd probably give it a 9, to be honest. Like, I love it when the matches that I'm assuming I don't have to pay too close attention to come in and overperform. Like, that is wild to me. So I love being proven wrong by the booking of pro wrestling in a good way. when it exceeds expectations. And that's something that NXT is doing now. And they are shooting for the stars next week. So Justin Hallencrane gives it a 10 out of 10. And that is just too heat. Very good, Justin. I totally get that. Who we got next? Things are coming in. Great live stream. Blessings to everyone in the chat. We're excited to watch it back. A&B, cannot recommend it enough to check it out. It's worth your time tonight for sure. T-Man, my brothers, W Stream show is 8.5 out of 10. Stream is awesome. Thank you so much for the love. I really appreciate that. Trying to improve and get better each and every week. And yeah, great show. Diglett says, I couldn't see it sound like a perfect 10. I will, and that's the only time I will give Spears props. You know what? It's worth checking out the match this week. It started off a little slow, but once it kicked into high gear, it was really good stuff. Just really well booked, a really well booked match. And I just don't see that on every product anymore. You know, if for a while I started to feel like that was a relic of the past. Rickardy, sorry we caught you right at the end, but I was really happy just to see you even for a couple of minutes. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Thank you, Justin. I hope you have a great and awesome week too. And I will be in touch with you guys. I'll see you on Friday for SmackDown with A&B combos. And yeah, and don't forget about Roadblock next week. Yeah, we won't want to miss it. All right, guys. Just remember, being a mark is not a bad thing. Being a mark just means you believe. And believing makes wrestling better. Love you guys. See you next time.